We are live on the Doug Serravo Show. Alongside me, we have the basketball star, Andrew Brem, and Brandon Schwartz. Brandon, how are you today?
Doing good, Doug. How's it going?
Pretty good. Andrew, how are you today, buddy?
Okay, good.
All right, so we got a lot to get to today. Super Bowl will be in 2 weeks. We got the Chiefs and the Buccaneers. So I'm going to start with Andrew. Give me your thoughts of the Kansas City Chiefs. Will they defend their world championship?
I really don't know at this point. Uh, originally I predicted Buffalo and Tampa were going to go to the Super Bowl,
I think
but
we all
now,
did.
yeah, and I actually did a poll yesterday on my Instagram about that, and I literally thought it was going to be Buffalo was going to take that crown and go to the Super Bowl, but now we have the Tampa Bay Rays against the Kansas City Chiefs. So now I'm wondering, I'm really
Brandon, did you hear
so
that?
uncertain who's going to win the Super Bowl. Is it going to be Tampa or is it going to be the Chiefs again? It's very uncertain. But with Tom Brady being on the team,
Wait, Andrew. The
what?
Tampa Bay who?
I think Tampa is going to win. Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
All right, because before you said the Rays, so
No, I didn't say the Rays. I said
yeah, you
Tampa
did.
Bay.
You said
But
the Tampa Bay
anyways,
Rays.
yeah.
All right, back
Or
to your
maybe
point.
cut off. We'll cut off probably. That's probably why.
All right, back to your
But
point, buddy.
anyways, the Bucks, the Tampa Bay Bucks. So the Tampa Bay Bucks, they probably will win this year because if they have Tom Brady and if Tom Brady got the Patriots to many Super Bowls, I think they'll probably win this year. But we might see the Chiefs win, but I think Tampa is going to be the one this year. But we'll see.
Brandon, what do you think about Andrew's opinion on the Tampa Bay Rays, as he said?
Brandon, Brandon, you there?
Is Brandon like frozen?
Wait, I didn't hear you. What was that?
What do you think about Andrew's opinion on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
I agree with him. I do think that it will be a very, very good, very high-scoring game. You got two of the best, probably the best quarterbacks in the league going at it against each other by
Oh,
far.
for sure.
Two by far best quarterbacks in the league, no doubt about it. I think the Buccaneers. I think everyone expected the Buccaneers to go to the Super Bowl because think of it like I think of it like this. You got Tom Brady on the Buccaneers. That's like LeBron James going to the like if LeBron James came to the Knicks.
Oh yeah, the Knicks will go to the World Championship.
We would probably end up in at least the Eastern Conference Finals or make it to the NBA Finals.
No, you would make it to the finals.
I mean, we would
And I
be
think
really
even the
good.
championship.
We would be really good. I mean, that's how I think of it. You know, Tom Brady, when they signed Tom Brady to that contract in March, I believe, they knew they were going to go far. They knew they were going to go far, and they deserve to go far. I mean, you got the best, the GOAT. He's the GOAT of football. He's the
Oh
best,
yeah, for
greatest,
sure. Tom Brady, in my mind, is the greatest of all time. As a
greatest of
Giants
all
fan, I have
time.
to respect him.
And he does great with players around him too. You know, Gronkowski had a good game. Mike Evans had a good game. The guys around him were pretty good.
And do you think that the Buccaneers will be the favorite, being that they're in Tampa Bay?
Absolutely. This is the first time you'll see a home team host the Super Bowl. And I think they have a major advantage here. But Mahomes is not he will fight for this. I mean, he's the second best quarterback in the league. I mean, he can end up winning this game, but it's going to be tough. So I think the Buccaneers will end up winning this game.
Yeah, the
What
Bucks
do
are
you
going to
think?
win.
Oh yeah, I'm going with Tampa Bay too.
Yeah, I hope. I'm praying and hoping I win that bet.
Oh, you bet?
I'm gonna probably bet.
What are you gonna bet? The money line or the over?
Like I'm gonna do the $5 bet and then try to win the 100.
Yeah, but
They
the
have
money line
it.
or the over?
You mean a
What?
box?
Are you talking about the Super Bowl box or like the money line, the over under?
Probably, but it's something that you do, I guess. It
No,
was
you
that
have
William
to.
Hill thing.
So yeah, but there's many aspects to betting, Andrew. You could do the money line, you could do the over, you could pick who wins the MVP.
Yeah, that's true.
So can you tell
All
us
right,
the answer?
I'll probably do the money line.
The money
All right.
line?
I
That's a
usually do the
good
money
bet.
line because I'm not a fan of the spreads. I rather just see who wins the game or who doesn't.
Yeah, I'd rather do that too.
I'm not a
Hmm.
spread person really.
Because at least if they
Yeah.
win the game, you don't have to worry about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes they could win the game but lose the spread, and that will screw you over.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So what are we thinking? Like a 45-35 game, or do you think maybe defense? Because a lot of Super Bowls, when we think they're going to be high scoring, defense shows up. So Andrew, what do you think?
Uh, I think it's going to be a very close game. I think it's going to be. I think one of these teams is going to brutally lose to the other team. I think that's what's going to happen. I think it's going to be a very, very close game. I have a feeling it's going to be somewhere between 35 to 32. That's what I think the end results will be.
35-32.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to write that down, and then we can predict it. So Andrew's going to go with 35-32. Brandon?
And you said 35-32? 35-32 who? Who's the winner?
Probably
Buccaneers?
Tampa
Tampa
Bay.
will win.
Okay, so I'm going to go 40 to 28 Buccaneers.
40-28 Buccaneers.
Yeah, 40 to 28 Buccaneers.
I'm going with 21-17 Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Solid pick.
Pretty good.
And Tom Brady will win the MVP.
I think you're right. I think he
Yeah,
will win the
he
MVP.
will. Dude, Tom Brady wins everything.
Well, he's a winner. What can we say?
Tom Brady wins every little award.
So, speaking of winners, is this the end of Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay? Because yesterday he made some comments about the future, and he added, including myself. So, is this the end of Rodgers in Green Bay? Andrew, I'll start with you.
It does sound like it. It sounds like this is the end of his career for Green Bay, and I feel like he's gonna move to a team in the upcoming year. So I have it's gonna happen. We don't know what team he'll go to.
Could it be the New York Jets, or do you think Deshaun Watson is going to be a New
Hello?
York Jet by the? Could it be the New York Jets, or do you think it's going to be Deshaun Watson that would be a Jet? Andrew?
I really don't know, to be honest with you, but it could happen. I mean, the New York Jets are doing a horrible job, but now since they fired their coach and got a new coach, that they look like a little bit of a future ahead of them. And if they get a guy like Aaron Rodgers, I think they'll have a better future.
Brandon?
Hard to say about Aaron Rodgers. I think I give him a couple more, at least 1 or 2 more years left in the frozen tundra of Green Bay. He really means a lot to that town. He's been there for a while.
For sure.
I don't think he wants to give up yet. I think he's got a couple more years left with the franchise. And if
Yeah, but does he want to leave, or do you think it's the ownership that's going to push him out?
I think it's him. I think it would be him if he want. I think it'd be up to him if he wants to leave. If it's up to the owners, that's up to them. I mean, you got to do what's best for your franchise and what you can do to win Super Bowls and championships. That's up to you. Does the ownership have do they want to restart and go with a young quarterback and go with a prospect? That's up to them. Do they want to start over and reinvent this franchise and see what else they could do? That's up to them. That's up to the ownership. The ownership's in charge. But in terms of Aaron Rodgers, if he was making the decision, I would say give it a couple more years left in Green Bay.
Yeah, because it feels like there's been a little disconnect between him and the ownership once they drafted Jordan Love.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
they
Jordan
did go 13-3. They did go 13. They did go 13-3. So he still has plenty left in the tank.
They had a great season. They had an awesome season. They had a wonderful season. I mean, listen, the playoffs don't always. Can you do this somewhere else, please? I kind of want to.
Andrew, give me your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers while Brandon takes a quick
Darn.
timeout. Andrew, give me your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers.
Well, we just did. We just went over that. Yeah, you told me that just now. You asked me that just now.
No, but does he stay in Green Bay?
You asked me first.
No, but after hearing like all the information, do you think he
like
stays?
I said, we don't know what the future will be.
Yeah, that's true. That is very
He probably
true.
will leave. I have a feeling he's going to leave.
Because he said that where he wants some type of
a strange feeling.
I have a feeling Aaron Rodgers won't stay because he said.
You said he's been there for a while, so he probably wants to go somewhere else.
Yeah, but to add that comment, including myself, ain't that a little suspicious? Like I want to be out.
Yeah, it's a little suspicious. But like we said, we don't know. Once the next season comes and rolls along, we'll see what happens. If he signs with another team, he signs with another team.
Because if you think about it, that's suspicious, Brandon, including myself. Mm-hmm. Like if I want to stay with an organization, I don't add that comment.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, you should be very careful in what you say,
true.
especially in 2021. You got to be careful of what you say within your franchise or your business. You got to be very careful because words could spread and they could cost you your career, and it could turn in the wrong direction. So you got to be very careful. Do you actually mean what you say, or do you not? So the question is, will Aaron Rodgers leave? I think he's going to stay another year or two.
Yeah, I can't see him play anywhere else. It's just weird.
Yeah, I mean, he means a lot to that town. That's like, I mean, he's the heart and soul of that franchise.
That's Eli Manning playing somewhere else.
I was just gonna say that's like Eli Manning or that's like Eli Manning going to like the Chargers or the Jet. That's how you think of it. So. Yeah, I think he means a lot to that franchise, and he should stay another year or two. Because I think they can make it. I think they could go to the Super Bowl in the next couple of years because they're almost there. They almost made it. They were that close. Because when Brady gave up those 3 interceptions yesterday, I
thought they were going to fall apart.
I think the people thought the Packers might have had a chance here. So, I think they got a lot. They got a lot to look forward to in the future because they're a really good team.
They had a good coach. They're like 28-6 in his first 2 years. That's no fluke.
They have a really great future. I mean, they're looking really good.
Namath? Who brought up Joe Namath? Brandon, did you bring up Joe Namath?
Never brought up him, not at all.
Yeah, I don't remember hearing, unless I did by accident. All right, so we have plenty more to get to on the Doug Strauss Show. Up next, we're going to talk about the New York Yankees and them bolstering, let's say upgrading, because I can't say bolstering, their pitching staff. Corey Kluber, Jameson Taillon, they traded away Adam Ottavino. So, Brandon, your Yankees are making a lot of moves, and we'll get right to that right after this commercial break. Where the Monroe Falcons are playing the St. Joseph of McCutcheon Falcons.
In the past, that game's history. We have a state's championship on our mind now.
The ranch, the buffalo.
It all works together very nicely.
Welcome to Falcons Insider. On today's episode, we're doing a lot of great work. This is work that people said couldn't have been done before.
A lot of money doing something you love.
Re-elected team reporter.
Yeah, what a season that was for you. 54 points in 18 games.
But definitely, when I said that we're going to win GMCs, I think that's another one that we remember. Yeah.
Go down in history. You just said it with so much confidence. So we are back on the Doug Saravel Show, and the New York Yankees are truly certifying their pitching rotation. And it seemed like the past few years, their struggle to get to a world championship was their pitching staff. So, Brandon, how important is this? How important is this for your New York Yankees to add more pitching to their starting pitching?
Well, based on the postseason from 2020, the pitching is majorly important. If it wasn't for giving up that home run to I forgot who it was. If the Yankees didn't give up the home runs to a couple of those Rays players,
Randy Rosarena, Michael Brissell. So, yeah, thanks for the American League Championship, Brandon.
Yeah, you're welcome. But yeah, pitching is very important for the Yankees, and it really comes down to what happens in the postseason. Pitching is the most important part of the postseason because you're in a jam, you got bases loaded. You need to bring in a pitcher to help you shut out that inning and prevent those runs from scoring. So adding a Jamison Tyon, Tyon, I don't know how to say his first name. Jamison Tyon, having Corey Kluber, can't forget Garrett Cole, and Luis Severino and James Paxton. Those guys will, you need a good pitching rotation, especially now in this day and age in baseball, because there's a lot of good hitters throughout the 1 through 9 lineup. There are a lot of good hitters, 1 through 9. So I think having a good pitching staff, a good pitching rotation, a good bullpen is a very important part to this Yankee franchise as they are looking to get back to the World Series for the first time since 2009.
Yeah, the first decade where they didn't go to the World Series.
Now, there's people saying that it's been the worst decade of all time. I kind of disagree with that because I think they learned a lot. Did they
finally get over the hump?
I think adding Garrett Cole, adding Corey Kluber could be the puzzle solver here. I think you needed another starting pitcher after Garrett Cole, just as a backup, just in case a couple of guys go down with injuries that could cost them the season.
So would you say the door is shut on Masahiro Tanaka?
If we haven't heard anything by now, I think he's done with the Yankees. I think he's going to end up going back to Japan and playing for the Japanese League. He's had a great run with the Yankees, and every Yankee fan loved him. He was awesome. You can't thank him enough. He did a great job. But maybe in the future we could bring him back. You never know.
So they say the AL East is like the toughest division in baseball. Toronto got George Springer. The Red Sox made a couple of moves. The Rays obviously traded away Blake Snell. And then Baltimore, we know they're still basically in this rebuilding phase. Could be a while before they get to contenders. Who ultimately comes out on top? Will it be the offense or will it be the pitching, which the Rays have? Now the Yankees have it with that 1, 2, 3. I would assume in Cole, Kluber, and then Talion. So who has the edge here in this AL East? Do the Red Sox bounce back? Do the Blue Jays ultimately come out on top?
I mean, adding George Springer is a game changer for the whole team and even the whole division. So I think the Yankees will still win the division, but I think it's going to come down to the Yankees and the Blue Jays in the top two that are fighting for that first place spot.
Yeah, I think the Rays, I would say they could defend that crown, but losing Snell, that hurts. But he's been
Morton too.
Yeah, Morton too to Atlanta. So I mean they have the prospects, so we shall see. And then who knows what they do with the bullpen games? Those are always interesting. So I think the AL East is going to be the division to look out for next year. It's truly going to be exciting. Hopefully they play 162. where it goes down to the wire. It's going to be interesting for sure. So
It's going
I
to be
just
a fun
want.
season.
Oh, for sure, I can't wait. So John, he was the one that brought up the point that Joe Namath was basically one of the only quarterbacks to play for one team. Steve Young went to, I think, Kansas City. Joe Montana. So you can't really think of many quarterbacks that played for one team. Eli Manning was one guy. Brett Favre went to Minnesota. So quarterbacks, it's rare where they play for one team.
Yeah, I mean, look at Peyton Manning too. I mean, he spent most of his career with the Colts, and then he went to where you go, Denver,
Yeah,
Denver
Denver.
Broncos. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you want to change, and that's your right. You have a right to change up your routine and what you want to do in other places. So that's up to you.
So we're gonna bring Andrew back. Andrew, how you been, buddy? Andrew, you fell asleep?
Good.
I think Andrew fell asleep.
What?
So Andrew, no, I think you fell asleep. Andrew, I want
I
to
didn't
talk to you
fall
about the
asleep.
Los. Oh, all right, you looked it. I want to talk to you about the Los Angeles Dodgers. They've been pretty quiet this offseason. Where do the Los Angeles Dodgers go? The San Diego Padres made a lot of free agency moves, bringing in a lot of pitchers. Yu Darvish, who else? Blake Snell, Joe Musgrove. The Padres have been truly doing everything they
There's
can
also
to take.
Bowers out there too.
Yeah, Trevor Bauer's still out there too. The Dodgers are. I mean, the Padres are doing everything they can to take
right
out.
now, people are telling him.
People are telling who what?
Yeah, Doug. So Trevor Bauer. So they're telling the league is telling the Dodgers don't get Trevor Bauer because of his allegations with women. He sexually assaulted and abused a couple women, and if you talk to any of these women that he's been with, don't be with them.
Yeah, I saw
Don't
something on
sign
Twitter
him into the
about that.
league. That's what I just heard.
A reporter.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'll pop it up right now for you.
So is that, you think he's like one of those distractions, or he's just,
DodgersWay.com.
because there's a lot of bad heat on Trevor Bauer.
Distractions or what?
No, like if you look at his social
I
media,
think
he
he's
would
just a
attack.
distraction, to be honest with you.
If you look at his social media, he would like attack
What?
fans. If you look at Trevor Bauer's Twitter, he would attack fans, calling them out. He would. I think there was some instance he had with like a 15-year-old girl or something where he said something to her. I'm not sure exactly.
Damn, yeah. No, he sounds like
But
a
there's
psycho.
a lot of drama and
He sounds like a
dirt
psycho.
on Trevor Bauer on Twitter.
There is.
So what's
There
this
is.
article that you pulled up?
It looks terrible. DodgersWay.com. It's Dodgers should avoid Trevor Bauer's allegations mount.
Yeah, there's a lot of mess. I mean, a lot
That's
of
what
players
Paul-
have that. That's why the Yankees stayed away from
the
Trevor
problem is
Bauer.
with, whether you're a celebrity. Let me explain this. It happens a lot. Whether you're a famous athlete, a famous celebrity, singer, actor, hip hop artist, or a career politician, it seems like you don't have the usual barriers when it comes to things like this. It's because you have all this money and power to do all these things, and you think you don't have to follow half these rules
But you
that
should.
everyone has to follow, and you think that you could do other things that people can't do.
You should avoid it, though.
What?
It's called being a decent human being.
Yeah. Yeah,
So the
that's
Dodgers.
true.
So if
That's
the
true, but
Dodgers are,
like I said, half the
what were you saying?
the Dodgers what?
Oh, I thought you were going to say something. So if the Dodgers are going
No,
to
I'm just
avoid,
saying, like, that's why half these people who are famous. So what I was saying is that half these people who are famous don't have the barriers, don't have their usual barriers because they have all this fame, power, and money to do all these things.
but they have to control it, Andrew.
That's true, but that's what I'm saying. Some people just can't because they're just because they have so much that
Egotistic?
they just can't handle it. They help themselves. Yeah,
So you're saying
exactly,
egotistic, yeah.
exactly,
But Andrew, I could have all the money in the world. I
exactly.
could be,
Like,
I could have all this power. I could be a politician. I'm still going to be the better person.
right? It's true, but I'm just saying it's not with everybody. It's just with
No, I'm just saying,
there's
but
a lot
I'm
of
just
people
saying.
out there that are famous.
I'm just saying being famous can't be an excuse.
That's true, but that's what I'm saying. These people think that way, and they can't help themselves.
So when they're going to have to take the backlash and
Like you,
just deal with the consequences.
right, right. That's what I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying.
No,
I'm
I
not saying
agree
it's with
with you. I'm
all
just
of these people, but like a
I'm
lot of
just
them,
saying
yes.
it can't be an excuse. Oh, I'm famous. I could do whatever the hell I want. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, of course not. You can't. It's just giving you an idea that this is what half these people think. These people have all this fame, power, and money.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, so Andrew, we're going to talk some
Hmm.
NBA right after this commercial break. All right. If you can, pull up the
All
standings, and
right.
we'll be right back. All right. We'll be right back.
Yes.
I'm going to work with Stratford Rec to see what can we do about it, because I can pitch in money to start with, because we need that. Look at that. It's like, sad. The pup is crying. We need to do something.
And when she gets elected, she will do a lot of great work for this town, things that haven't been done before. She's highly respected, highly intelligent, and I'm looking forward to hearing on election day that she is your newest representative, but most importantly, your voice.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We are back on the Doug Sharavo Show. Alongside me, we got Andrew Brim and Brandon Schwartz. Guys, how are you today? Welcome back. So, Andrew, can you start with the Western Conference and tell me how things are shaping up? Andrew.
Yeah, sure. I'll go right ahead. So it seems like the Clippers went back. What?
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah, let me say it. Okay, so yeah, so the Clippers were at first, but now they're back at second. So now the Clippers are first. They're 13-4. Same thing as Lakers, but they're 10-4 in the conference. The Lakers and the Clippers are 11-4. And so the Utah Jazz is 12-4. Trailblazers 9-6. The Denver Nuggets 9-7. Memphis Grizzlies 7-6. Arizona Suns 8-7. The Spurs 9-8. Mavericks 8-8. Warriors 8-8. Rockets 6-9. Thunder 6-9. Sacramento Kings 6-10. The Pelicans 5-10. Timberwolves 4-11.
All right, so Andrew, is there a team that you think could ultimately take down the Lakers?
Clippers. I think by the end of the season, we're going to see a championship game and a Western Conference championship game. It's going to be Clippers against the Lakers. So it's literally going to be the Battle of LA, the one I've been envisioning months before the
I
last
think many people predicted that last
championship had
year.
happened.
A lot of people predicted it
Yeah, I
last year.
predicted that too, but I was close. I mean, it was Lakers and Miami.
Yeah, I think the Nuggets took them down, or the Jazz.
No.
Someone
Well, that was a championship game.
No, someone took the Clippers down.
Yeah.
I think the second round or something.
Yeah. Trying to remember who, but yeah, probably.
All right, so Brandon.
Yeah, that's a team right now that's up in first place, the Clippers.
Brandon, tell me about your New York Knicks and where they stand and where you see them going moving forward.
All right, so where I see the New York Knicks moving forward is, so I'm going to stand in front of the Knicks poster here. The Knicks
Is that Porzingis?
have looked very good in the last few games. Despite them losing, I think we are learning a lot. I like the play of Emmanuel quickly. He scored about 31 points last night, the rookie from Kentucky. And Julius Randle's been looking very good. RJ Barrett's been looking really good. Alec Burks, who's been out for a while, came back, started hitting threes, hitting some clutch buckets, and giving the Knicks some valuable points. Again, the Knicks really desperately need another three-point shooter or another point guard. So maybe in free agency over the summer, we could go after another three-point shooter. But I think the hiring of Tom Thibodeau has made these players play very hard each and every game. I could tell you when David Fizdale was the coach of these Knicks. And he was the coach of the Knicks for about
I think Thibodeau is going to be coach of the year.
a year and a half, not even a few months. He didn't make them play hard every game. One game, play hard. Next game, you guys could just blow yourselves out and not even play hard at all. The game after, you could play hard. No. With Thibodeau, you play hard every night. If you don't play hard, you sit your ass on the bench. That's how it works. That's what you do. You sit on the bench if you don't play hard. So that's what Tom Thibodeau does. You play hard, you stay in the game. You don't, you get off and you go on the bench. So Knicks definitely look very good, despite the loss last night in Portland. I really think people are excited to see Emmanuel quickly be a consistent player. And Alec Burks. Alec Burks is showing some good skill, too. He's hitting threes.
Do you think they're heading in the right direction where they could actually contend for a playoff spot and hopefully a world championship?
World championship would be the number one key. That's what everyone wants. World championship. But, Doug, getting into the playoffs would be just good. Just get us into the playoffs. Get us in a key spot. We haven't been to the playoffs in 9 years. Well, actually, no, 8 years. We haven't been there in 8 years. 8 years. 2013 was the last time the Knicks were in the playoffs, and that was when the Knicks had Carmelo Anthony. And
yeah, that's a long
that's
time.
a long time where the Knicks are not in the playoffs. And this town needs the Knicks to be good, because when the Knicks are good, this town is enormous.
Oh, for sure, especially in New York City.
New York City. I mean, the Brooklyn Nets are a good team. But there's really nothing good. There's nothing like having the New York Knicks, the winning team in Madison Square Garden, having people be excited about the Knicks. People have been looking for this for a while.
Oh, for sure. All right, so we're going to go to Andrew Brem. Talk to me about your Brooklyn Nets. James Harden seems to finally be where he wants to be.
Yeah, definitely. Games to the Nets. They started really slow with him. They were fifth in the rankings place, and as looking at the rankings now, they maintained their ranking, the ranking they were at before they dropped to 7th place. So now they're back in 5th place. So I see a lot of potential for this team.
Is it championship or bust?
Be a playoff team this year.
Is it championship or bust?
I think in another year or so you'll probably see them in a championship game.
No, but is this year championship or
Anyways,
bust?
let me explain. So,
No, but is it
like,
championship
what do you
or
mean by
bust?
robust?
If they don't win it this year, was this year a waste?
I don't
That's
get
what I'm
you're
trying to
saying.
get to. So let's say
Uh,
they don't win the title, they lose in the second round. Was it a waste
Probably
getting
not.
James Harden and trading away Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, your young guys? Would you say it was a waste?
No,
But is this year the year they have to win?
no, I don't think it's a waste. I think it's just a year.
Because they spent
Possibly.
they spent
But at the
all this
same
money
time,
on
I think
Kyrie
it'll also
Irving.
be a good year for them.
No, but what I'm saying is this the year they have
Right.
to win? So if they don't win,
Yeah,
was
so
it a
I think
waste? Because that's the point I'm trying to get to.
Yeah, I think it's the year you have to win. Yeah, I think this is the year you have to win because if, like you said, if they have Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, now Harden, I think they have to win this year.
Why though? Because you remember, Jared Allen's a great young prospect.
Because they've spent.
Karis
Right.
LeVert is a great young prospect, and I know they're playing in the NBA instead of calling it a prospect, but
Right.
they still have to reach their potential in their prime. Karis LeVert and Jared Allen are going to be one of the best players in the NBA. I'm happy my Cleveland Cavaliers went out and got Jared Allen, and they're playing well. So for the Cavaliers to have a core of Darius Garland, Colin Sexton, C.D. Osman, and to add in Jared Allen, I'm happy where my Cavaliers are going. I believe we will make the postseason even out with LeBron James.
Right.
I'm hoping
So this
LeBron
is
comes
gonna be-
back in 2 years. So think about teams, how they build and rebuild. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving they have 2 years left on a deal. So if they don't win it this year, they have to win it next year. So would you say this is the year that they go all in?
Right.
See, Andrew, I'm
Oh,
practicing.
yeah,
I'm
If they
practicing
got
for my.
Harden now, I mean,
Yeah.
they have to.
But do you get what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to practice so if I ever have to debate
practicing
someone in the
for your
future.
debate.
So you do think that this is the year they have to win, though?
They have to win. If they have three good guys on their team, they just made a huge trade now. I think they got to win. They have to win this game. And I mean, if these three play together at one point, I think they should win this game. They should win this. This.
I'm going to go to Brandon now. Is this the year that the Nets have to win a world championship?
100%. I think they probably could beat the Lakers in the finals. Remember, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. Well, Kyrie signed a 4-year contract? He signed a 4-year contract to play with the Nets.
Yeah, both are
And then
4 years.
Durant signed. Did he sign a 4-year contract too?
Yeah, I believe both of them were 4
So
years.
if they signed a 4-year contract, they only had. This is the second year. Even if Durant was out last year, that counts. He still does. That counts into his contract.
Yeah, he still got paid.
So if you don't win this year, you have to win either this year or my point is you want to win this year because just in case something happens in the next year or two, you want to have a backup plan.
Yeah, because what if Kyrie decides to say, "I'm out, trade me"?
That's the thing. Kyrie Irving is an unreliable player. He has personal reasons, which I think that's a lie. I think he's just making excuses for himself. So I don't know. I think the Knicks was smart to never sign Kyrie and Kevin Durant, but the way I see that Kevin Durant looks on the court right now, he actually looks better. He looks better than the way he did before the Achilles injury. He's like, you should be able to win the finals this year. You should be able to win the finals this year. And if you don't win the finals this year, then you got something wrong with the coaching staff, or you just need to add better players on the bench because you should. There's no excuse. You should win. You have the three best players in the league. I mean, you got
Oh,
LeBron
for
James,
sure.
but if you got the three best players by far, and Giannis is up there, I think he's three of the best. I think Kyrie, if healthy, could be the best. Kevin Durant, he doesn't miss a shot. He's automatic. He doesn't miss. And James Harden, despite all the problems he's gone through, can be a solid player. He's one of the best.
Oh yeah, James looks happy to be in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I mean, you should be able to win. You should be able to win the championship. But again, the NBA, I feel like now is a lot different than it was in the past. There's a lot more competition in between each teams. A lot more 3-point shots are shot.
Oh yeah, and you could have 5 teams, and they all could have like 3 to 4 good players. It's not like having back in the day where you had LeBron James leading the Cavaliers, and they made it to the finals with Daniel Gibson, Eric Snow, Larry Hughes, Zydrunas Ilgauskas.
You got a lot of good shooters on a lot of teams, so you got to be careful because there's a lot more competition. Every team could win now. It's not like the old days where you wouldn't have anybody, you lose. No, 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 no. It's a lot different now. You could win. You could win. You could win with any player you have now. I'm not saying you'll win a championship, but you could win games. You could win games. It's not the way it used to be. Everybody has a chance to win now.
Yeah, look at the Bucks. They went from being one of the jokes in the NBA, and then they got Giannis, and they built around him.
Especially,
and here they are, a top contender.
There's no home court advantage, so yeah, you could win anywhere now.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we get back, I'm going to discuss the New Jersey Devils win over the New York Islanders, and then we'll have our final segment to discuss where the Mets will go after missing out on Springer and Brad Hand. We'll be right back. We are back on the Doug Saravo show. So the New Jersey Devils won another game, this time with Scott Wedgwood between the pipes. This is a guy that won the Stanley Cup with the Tampa Bay Lightning, third-string goalie. But I'm really liking the way the Devils have been performing. They are 3-1-1, and their young guys are stepping up, especially Jack Hughes. This guy was the number 1 draft pick last year. He had 21 points in his first NHL season. He wasn't really that consistent. He had great movements with the puck. He just couldn't find the back of the net. Made good passes, had the puck well, and he's performing well. I believe this guy has 4 goals and 3 assists and 7 points. So Jack Hughes is really improving. He's 14 points away from breaking last year's total, but the Devils are moving forward in a great position. Mackenzie Blackwood is in the COVID protocol. We're waiting for Sammy Vatanen's visa, Jesper Bratt to finish the quarantine, Nico Hischier to recover from his injury. So the Devils are performing well, and I'm really liking where we're going moving forward. Igor Sharangovich is going to be a huge spot for this team, and I'm really looking forward to where this Devils team goes. They are young, but they're playing phenomenal team hockey. And I'm really looking forward to where this Devils go. So we have a question from Jillian Francis Roberts. Serious question, Doug. How good is ShopRite sushi? I think it's alright. I mean, it tastes fresh. It tastes good. Is it like real Chinese sushi? Maybe not. But it tastes good. I can't complain about it. So again, if you guys have questions, send them in. Thanks, Jillian. Shout out to Nick Klein. Let's see what John DiGiovanni has to say. Wow, your old days are so different than my old days. Wait. It's not that the Knicks were smart. Both of them rejected the Knicks and Dolan. So let's bring Brandon back in. Brandon, what do you think about this comment from John?
I agree that, but again, Dolan had a say in this. Dolan said, "Should we sign these guys even if he's coming off an Achilles injury?" You know, I think the Knicks wanted to head in a different direction, which is nothing bad. It's actually a smart thing because look where we are now. You got Julius Randle, who's a potential all-star. You have even a guy like Elfrid Payton, who could be a solid point guard. You have R.J. Barrett, who's really looking very good in the last few games. He's going to be a star. He's going to be really good. You give him time to develop, he's going to be really good. So, Knick fans, get excited because you're going to see Julius Randle as an all-star. You're also going to see R.J. Barrett as an all-star in the future. So, get excited because good things are happening to this town and this franchise.
What do you think about Obi Toppin?
Was coming off a major injury, which could have hurt his career, but luckily it didn't. He actually looks better now after the injury.
It's coming from John.
Yes. There are players that do want to play in New York. But unfortunately, sometimes they want to play for the Brooklyn Nets instead of the New York Knicks. So, because some players think the media for the Knicks are a lot different than the Brooklyn Nets. But the media for the Nets is getting hot. It's getting hotter and hotter each time. So I think having Austin Rivers, having, a guy like Mitchell Robinson, who's a monster on the boards, 7-foot guy, who's got a great wingspan. We're looking like we're really heading in the right direction. We just got to be patient because I think in the next 2 to 3 years, you'll see the New York Knickerbockers competing with the Brooklyn Nets in a playoff round. Could be the first round, second round.
That would be awesome.
Round.
I would love to see that. Can you imagine the media too that time? The celebrities that will attend for a Nets-Knicks playoff series? That would be, if we're allowed to have fans, of course. I mean, hopefully we do.
Imagine when they would be a playoff team. Imagine the place would be crazy.
Oh, for sure.
Be nuts.
Yeah, but do you think it would be in? What would you rather see? Because I mean, first round. Would you rather see it? You think it would be better in a conference final, or you think it don't matter because it's New York?
A conference finals would be the matchup everybody's been waiting for. I mean, listen, the conference finals is the best you could get in the conference. That's like the Yankees and the Red Sox competing in an American League Championship Series.
Or Yankees Mets World Series.
Yeah, that's like a Yankees Mets World Series. That's like, what's another rivalry? But yeah, you want to see the rivalry.
Sidney Crosby, Alex Ovechkin.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. What did you say, Ovechkin?
Yeah, that's a good rivalry to see in the playoffs. Crosby versus Ovi.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know hockey, but you do. But yeah,
Rangers Islanders in the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, you want to see rivalries because first of all, it's good for the revenue. It helps the revenue of the team. It helps
Boston, Montreal.
It helps
for sure, revenue.
It helps the marketing. It helps you market your brand, and it helps unify. And here's another one: it could help unify a country. So yeah, all of that is why you want to see a conference championship between two rivals. So I think in the next couple of years, well, I shouldn't say a couple of years because I don't think it's going to be that. In the next 5 to 10 years, you could possibly see the Knicks and the Nets competing in a playoff round.
Oh yeah, at least 5, definitely. See, but then again, you think about it from you don't know what Brooklyn's aspect. Once they're done with Durant and Kyrie and James, who knows if they'll fall off within the next 5 years.
There are people thinking that, sometimes it doesn't always work out. You had the big three in Miami: Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, and that worked out perfectly. They won 2 or 3. Was it 2 or 3 championships? I mean, they
went to the finals 4 years and they won 2.
Yeah, that worked out perfect. Sometimes the big threes don't always work out. Sometimes they don't.
Oh yeah, because you got some egos, you got some drama,
and it also helps to have a good bench too. When you don't have a good bench, if something happens.
Oh yeah, for sure. Lots of teams had good benches. Like remember Iggy on the Warriors?
Well, that was a good bench. You also had Sean Livingston, I believe.
Sean Livingston, yeah, they had a good. Those Warrior teams were good.
Yeah, you had Kevon Lewis. Yeah, those guys were good. I mean, the benches help. The benches could help you win a game and win a championship. You need a good amount of players to you got to make. When you make a smoothie, you take all the fruit, you put it into a machine, it's got to blend. That's how it works with sports.
I like that. I like that analogy.
Yeah.
And luckily for the Nets, James Harden's been working, Kyrie's been working. They've been getting along well, so hopefully it continues, especially for that organization and the city. Because I'm sure it don't matter if it's the Knicks or the Nets. If a New York team is in the championship, all eyes are on New York.
Yeah, I mean, even if the Nets make there's a good chance they will get to the Eastern Conference Finals. This is the first time a New York basketball team has made it to the NBA Finals, the NBA Conference Finals since 2000. Was it in the late 1999? Was it 99 or even after?
Yeah, I think about 99, maybe 98.
So for the Brooklyn, that's enormous. That is so. I give luck to the Nets because they should work out. They got to do whatever they can to try and win a championship. And with Steve Nash as your coach, it looks good for him too because you're starting off your career with a good hand. If you have 3 good players,
for sure. You don't want to be like Derek Fisher.
Yeah, Derek Fisher, man, that was a bust for the Knicks.
Derek Fisher, he went like 15-67.
Yeah, I mean he might have been the worst coach in Knicks history.
Yeah, I remember that. He went like 15-67.
David Fizdale was pretty bad too, but Derek Fisher, I don't know why they hired him. I mean, the only reason they hired him is because Phil Jackson was in office. That's why.
Yeah, that's true.
And Phil Jackson and Derek had a good relationship, obviously. So
I respect Phil Jackson, but he wasn't right for the Knicks.
No way. He destroyed this team. After he came, Carmelo Anthony was traded. We had all these downfalls after that. All these downfalls, and then the franchise just fell downhill, and then we're trying to now figure a way to go back up the hill. So it's going to take time.
It's a good start.
You got to be patient.
It's a good start, though. That's something I could tell you guys. It's a good start.
Very good start, and I got to say, I've been pleased with what I've seen from this team, especially last night. Even though we lost, quickly look good. They play hard. They play very hard, and they have a very bright future, I believe.
Yeah, they're playing good for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're going to have our final thoughts segment. If you guys want to send in questions or predictions, feel free to send them. But the question for Brandon and Andrew from me is, where do the Mets go from here now that they missed out on George Springer? Will it be Jackie Bradley Jr. and Brad Hand? But we will get to that right after this quick commercial break. And this commercial I love. It's my Fun Fact Friday that the Monroe Falcons hockey production team put together. We'll be right back.
Falcons Insider, #1, all across Monroe. It's the most viewed.
I really appreciate you coming out and doing this. Doug does a great job covering us. He runs the Instagram for us and posts all interesting facts, comments about our teams we go through.
When you look at the polls, when you look at the viewers, when you look at the statistics, we're getting a lot of good feedback, and I think moving forward that we're going to do a lot of great things. And the success that we have in store. I'm Doug Saravo, and I approve this message.
We are back on the Doug Saravo Show. Feel free to send in your questions. So the question I have for all my co-hosts is, where will the New York Mets go from here? They missed out on George Springer. They missed out on Brad Hand. Brad Hand said he wants to be a closer. And the situation with the Mets is that they have Edwin Diaz. But why would they want Edwin Diaz over Brad Hand? We know Diaz has been very inconsistent since he became a New York Met. So, Brandon, I want to start with you. Do the Mets sign Jackley Bradley Jr.? And why did they decide to stick with Edwin Diaz instead of Brad Hand?
Well, I think Edwin's still getting situated in Queens. I think he's because they know Edwin Diaz can be a potential threat to other teams. Closing out game. He could. He's a threat to other teams. Knowing what he was like in Seattle. Because when they traded with him with Cano, they knew he was going to be a good pitcher. He was going to be a good pitcher. They just wanted to, you got to give him time to settle into New York because sometimes it takes a while to settle into your new team. So I think they wanted to give Diaz another chance because I think this is the year where he can settle in and be the Edwin Diaz that Steve Cohen hopes for.
So I'm going to go back to you instead of Andrew because this is what John has to say. Didi needs to re-sign with the Yankees, put Torres back at second, DJ at first, Voit DH, Stanton in left. I think this tightens up the middle defense. I like Frazier, and we always need a fourth outfielder. So, Brandon, what's your opinion on this question from John?
I agree. Didi should re-sign with the Yankees. Didi's so you know how you have favorite foods in the United States. You have pizza, hamburgers, other foods. He's a fan favorite in New York. He's a fan favorite. He's a fan favorite, Didi. He's always been loved by the Yankee fans. He is a fan favorite. So he should re-sign with the Yankees. He'll feel more loved here. He always has a warm welcome. He always puts on a good performance, especially in the playoffs. When he hit that 3-run home run in the wild card game, the crowd exploded, and it turned out to be a great win for the Yankees that night. Without that 3-run shot, I don't know where the Yankees would have ended up. So he brings a lot of energy to this team, and he's just hits every single. He hits singles, doubles, and he plays the field well. He's a very good shortstop. A very good shortstop.
So, Andrew, can you give me your thoughts on where the New York Mets go from here? What position do you think they try to fill? Is it center field? Is it, a pitcher, a bullpen guy? So, Andrew, where do you think the New York Mets go from here? Andrew, you having technical difficulties again?
they're gonna go. I'm not really sure.
All right, so where do the Mets go from here?
What's up? Yeah, technical difficulties.
Why, are you on your phone?
I really don't know, to be honest with you, but what I could say is that they'll probably, rebuild and eventually move on to the championship.
So you like what they have right now?
What?
So you like what they have right now is what you're saying?
Yeah.
All right, so they're going to do nothing in free agency.
Yeah.
They're going to keep the team the way they are, and they're going to go straight to the World Championship. Is that it?
Yeah.
All right, Andrew. I think next time we do this show, you should use your laptop.
Yeah, that's all I have.
Andrew, are you a Mets fan or Dodgers fan?
What?
You're a
What
Dodgers
team do you like? You're the Dodgers.
fan. Okay, for some reason I keep thinking you're a Mets fan.
The Dodgers?
Yeah. So, Andrew, next time you do this, use your laptop. Andrew.
Yeah, all right.
Because I think you have more issues when you use your phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so next time we do this next month, what?
Using on your end?
No, I'm fine. My service, my live stream on my end, it's fine. But for you, for some reason, it always delays and it lags. So I think because you're on your phone, that we have these issues. Did you hear what I just said? Andrew. Andrew, you hear me, right? Brandon, did you hear what I said?
Yeah, you said, did you hear what I said?
Yes, I think Andrew has to use his laptop because he freezes. He looks frozen. That's why last time I thought he was half asleep.
Yeah, I'm using my phone too. It does stutter. It does stutter a little bit. The sound. Yeah, I should use my computer next time too.
Yeah, I think that would be better off.
Yeah.
Especially, I know Andrew knows nothing about sports anyway.
He knows the NBA. He knows the NBA well.
Oh yeah, he knows the NBA. But for our audience, it makes it look like he doesn't know anything. But in reality, it's his phone that freezes, so he doesn't. I don't want the audience to think like he's this dumb person, right, Andrew? Andrew.
Yeah, I'm gonna join. Hold on, I'm gonna join. 1 second. I'm gonna try to get on.
Oh, you're gonna use your laptop now? All right, so Andrew, if you want, we're gonna go to a quick commercial break because then we'll have our final thoughts segment on the show. So set that all up, come back, and we'll have our final thoughts on what we all thought about today's episode. All right, we'll be right back, guys, right after this quick commercial break. Where the Monroe Falcons are playing the St. Joseph of McCutcheon Falcons.
Past that game's history, we have a state's championship on our mind now.
The Ranch, the Buffalo.
It all works together very nicely.
Welcome to Falcons Insider.
Falcons Insider.
On today's episode, we're doing a lot of great work. This is work that people said couldn't have been done before.
A lot of money doing something you love.
Re-elected team reporter.
Yeah, what a season that was for you. 54 points in 18 games.
But definitely, when I said that we're going to win GMCs, I think that's another one that remember. Yeah.
Without history. You just said it with so much confidence. We are back on the Doug Saravo show. Alongside me is just Brandon Schwartz because it looks like Andrew is disappeared. You know, like, Brandon, do we understand Andrew at times, or? Like, he confuses me sometimes. He's a good kid, but, like in today's episode, I was like, Andrew, are you, like, is your service working? He wouldn't tell me. And I'm not sure if he's coming back on.
Because the computer, first of all, the battery doesn't die too much, you know? When the battery will die fast with your phone, so better to use a computer. Hello?
Hide. Unless he's now watching, because someone just sent a comment. So, John, blink twice if you're being held captive. Oh wait, Andrew's joining us again. Here we go. Let's see.
Andrew,
welcome back, amigo.
Hey.
Oh, see, this is perfect, Andrew.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're using your laptop.
Hey.
Yep.
That's
I want to send it by email.
Yeah, I'll send it by email.
Yeah.
Andrew, do you hear echoing, or that's just your end?
I don't hear anything.
I don't hear it either. All right, cool. So, give us your final thoughts for this show.
I thought it was a great show. You know, I know there was a lot of glitching and a lot of freezing, but it was overall a great show, especially with the basketball, of course. And, of course, we're finally now to the Super Bowl here.
Just in time to say goodbye.
But, you know, like I said earlier, I did not expect the Bills to lose. I was thinking it was going to be Bills in Tampa.
Yeah, I didn't think the Bills would lose either, but they did.
Yeah. A lot of people did. Like, yesterday I did a poll on my Instagram and asked people, who do you think is going to win that Bills game? And about 80% of the people voted the Bills, and then about 20% of those voters voted for Green Bay. It was, or Chiefs, I think it was, right?
Yeah, Chiefs won.
Yeah, right.
It's going to be Chiefs and the Buccaneers for the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Green Bay's out. Whoops. But anyways, yeah, that's what I thought. I literally thought it was going to be the Bills because I heard so much good things about this team. I heard them about them in the news, about them in on sports media, people watching the game, this and that. It's like I thought it was going to be them.
Yeah, I thought so too, but Tampa Bay stopped Aaron Rodgers, Jason Pierre-Paul. Thanks for the Super Bowl in 2012. Mm-hmm. And then for the Bills, I think they just need one more year and they'll be good. Josh Allen's a great quarterback, but you got to think about this. They don't have the experience for what it takes to win a Super Bowl. Right. Yeah, they went 13-3, but they didn't really go far. And what I mean by that is they had a year where Tom Brady was not in the division. And if Tom Brady was in the division, I think it would have been different for the Buffalo Bills. Yes. People seem to forget that. This is the first year where the Patriots didn't have Tom Brady as their starting quarterback. And a lot of people seem to forget it. Yeah, Josh Allen's a great quarterback. Yeah, they have a great head coach. Yeah, they got Stephon Diggs. But when you look at this division, Tom Brady was not there. And what happens? He goes to the NFC South, where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers used to have Jameis Winston. I think they went 7-9 last year. Right? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in the Super Bowl. So I think next year, given more experience, the Buffalo Bills will ultimately go to that AFC Championship game again, but host it. I think that's going to be the key. Because again, unless you're Tom Brady, when you're playing in the AFC Championship in Kansas City, it's going to be loud and it's going to be hard to win. Now remember this. There was no sellout. There was a limit on crowd this year. So could you imagine how the Bills would have performed with a larger fan base in Kansas City? Or could you imagine how the Bills would perform with fans in Buffalo?
Yeah, that's true. Well,
They could have went like 14-2, but a lot of people seem to forget that Tom Brady was no longer in the AFC East. I'm not taking credit away from the Buffalo Bills, but it would have been a lot different if Tom Brady was still a New England Patriot. Remember, the Bills didn't have to play the Patriots this year. I'm not taking anything away from Josh Allen. I think he had an MVP season. I think he's going to still win MVP this year. But Tom Brady, being in the NFC, was a game changer for a lot of AFC teams. You could say it was an impact on the Dolphins. You could say it was an impact on the Bills. And I think it's going to be a lot different moving forward, knowing that Tom Brady isn't in the AFC. The AFC East, because now he's in the NFC South, and he is going to win the Super Bowl this year. Next year's going to be the Buffalo Bills winning it, and Tom Brady will still be a quarterback at age 46. He's going to be in Tampa for 3 years. Mark it down, Andrew. He's going to be retiring at the age of 46. He still wants to play. He still has that passion. He still has that hunger. It ain't over for Tom Brady. This is just the start for Tom Brady. And this is my final segment, my final thought segment. Brandon, your turn. Oh, and for John, we'll be back next Monday. This is a Monday night thing. Brandon, your turn.
Brady is the GOAT. Brady is the GOAT. I think everybody knows that by now after what they saw in yesterday's game. He is the GOAT. Greatest of all time, hands down. You got to give him credit. He changed this franchise. They deserve to be in the Super Bowl along with the Kansas City Chiefs, who also deserve to be in the Super Bowl. Two great quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes from Texas Tech is going against the Michigan Wolverine, Tom Brady, who both deserve to be playing in Tampa at Super Bowl 55. It's going to be a great matchup. They are allowing 22,000 fans in the stadium, which is great. It's going to be a lot.
And it's in Tampa too.
It's going to be great. A lot of fans that are playing in Tampa. There's going to also be a lot of Kansas City Chiefs fans there too, because Kansas City's got a great fan base. They got a great fan base. It's going to be a fun matchup, and I think it's going to be a high-scoring Super Bowl. It's going to be fun, and I agree with you, Doug. Josh Allen had an MVP season. Great season for Josh Allen. Great season for the Buffalo Bills. And you got to give a lot of credit to Sean McDermott, who did a great job with this roster. He did a great job. He's a great coach, and I think the Bills have a very
All right, guys, this has been a great show. We'll be back next Monday. I believe we're gonna. As of now, it's 9 p.m. Okay. So we'll be back next week. Obviously, we're gonna probably discuss the Pro Bowl. I know not many people are into the Pro Bowl, but that's something we will be discussing. The Pro Bowl, whatever happens in Major League Baseball, there's still guys out there. I'll discuss the National Hockey League, and we just want to thank our loyal supporters for sending in their comments, their thoughts, because this has been a great show. And I just want to give another shout out to Nick Klein for being one of the best pizza makers in the world. Shout out to Nick Klein. Thank you everyone for watching us. We'll see you guys next time. Brandon, thank you for joining me. Andrew, thank you for joining me. Next week, use your laptop, okay, kiddo?
All right. Yeah.
All right, thank you guys. All right, we'll see you guys next week on the Doug Saravo Show. This was a great show as always, and we have some updated episodes of Faith, Life, and Death. You can find them on YouTube. We also have updated episodes of Section 116 where I discuss the New Jersey Devils and the latest around the National Hockey League. Again, thank you for joining me on the Doug Sharavo Show. It's always a pleasure. Check out my podcast on Anchor, Spotify, and all your podcast applications. Thank you guys, and we wish you the best of luck and stay safe.